All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. We are going to go through evaluating using the order of operations here. Now, what that means, evaluate is a key word here. We're not solving like it's an equation. Evaluate just means I'm going to give you some numbers and you're going to tell me what it all comes out to. Okay, so if you ever see directions and it says solve, technically that's not what's happening here. Solve is for equations. This is just I'm going to see what happens to these numbers. Now, when we do that, we're going to use the order of operations, which is going to be parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. So those are the same rank, I guess you could say. So addition and subtraction, they're on the same level. So you're just going to do whichever one comes first. You're not going to prioritize one over the other. I think that's the most common mistake people make with the order of operations. Anyway, let's get going here and let's start with example 1 here. Now, since multiplication is higher up on the rank than subtraction, we are going to multiply first, and then when we are done, we are going to bring it straight down and then simplify what's left here. So 9 minus 8, so of course we're going to get 1. So when we evaluate it, we get an answer of 1. All right, example number 2. So now you're talking about 3 different signs involved here. Now, multiplication and division are on the same level. They have the same rank, which means we are going to do them from left to right. So the multiplication symbol came first. We are not going to add yet because it is not on the same rank. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now that we have completed the multiplication and we have completed the division, now we can add them together. So it looks to me like we get 11. All right. Now example 3, we throw all that stuff into the mix here. Parentheses first, which means we need to take care of the 6 minus 3, which is 3. Now we're going to throw exponents in. So 7 squared is 49. We have another exponent along the way, 3 to the 3rd power, which means you're going to take 3 and you're going to multiply it by itself and then by itself again. So 3 to the 3rd power just translates to 3 times 3 times 3. So that's where the 27 is going to come from. A lot of people rush through it and they don't actually know what it comes out to. Anyway, when you're done, 49 plus 27 looks a lot like 76 to me. All right, example 4. Now the variables start coming into play. We're going to tell you what x is, and then you're going to use that number as part of the deal. So x equals 9. So now we are going to plug in 9 where the x goes, and then multiply it out. 3 times 9, that looks a lot like 27 to me. All right, next, over here, if you plug in 3 for y, it's going to look something like this. Now you have to consider the order of operations in that situation because that multiplication needs to take place before we subtract. So what you're going to get here, you're not going to do 14 minus 4. You're going to multiply the 4 and the 3 first and get 12. Then you can subtract, and 14 minus 12 looks like a whopping 2. All right, now just to make a mess of things, we're going to give you 2 variables here. So we're going to give you x, which is 100, minus 3y. Now we already know, we already did 3 times 9 earlier. We already got 27. So when we do this now, because the problem is a little bit more complicated, we are going to have to do 100 minus 27. So we have to step up our game a little bit. We end up getting 73. All right, now, I changed the language on example number 7 here, but the concept is still the same. If f of x equals x plus 3, find f of 2. Now, that looks really intimidating, especially if you've never dealt with what's called function notation before. Now, I know in grade school they talk about functions, so you probably have an idea of what a function is. I put this problem in here just to try to get people away from the paranoia of what's going on. Here's the deal. We put a 2 in the x spot. So if you want to know what f of 2 is, all you're doing is plugging in a 2 where the x goes, and you're trying to see what comes out. 2 plus 3 is 5. That was the answer. That was it. Okay. So I bring that up because a lot of students see the language and they just freak out right away. And they think, well, this problem is weird. It doesn't make any sense. Just do the most obvious thing and you'll get it right. Same thing here. We have an 8 in place of the x. So when you're trying to simplify, put an 8 in place of the x. So that'll be 4 times 8 minus 2. According to our order of operations rules, we're going to multiply first, and we'll get 32 minus 2. So, if somebody asked you what f of 8 was, you would just tell them, well, I plugged in 8, and it turned out the answer was 30. That's it. All right, now, just to throw a few curveballs at the end, we need to work on our exponents a little bit. So, square one of the numbers in the expression to make it simplify to 10. So basically, 3 plus 1 is 4. Could we square one of the numbers and make it come out to 10? Well, let's start with the 3. Let's try squaring it. 3 squared is 9, and 9 plus 1 is 10. Hey, there you go. So, the number that needed squared was the 3. All right, so you try example number 10. If you were to square the 4, 4 squared is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19 plus 2 is 20. Oh, I don't like where this is going. The number's too big. So, not going to happen. We need to try a different number. So, let's try the 3. Let's see what happens here. So 4 plus 3 squared is 9. 13 plus 2 is 15. Minus 1 is 14. Nope, not good enough. So I guess we need to try again. So square the 2. So that would give you 4 plus 3 plus 2 squared is 4 minus 1. That would be 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 4 is 11, minus 1, bing, 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 it is 10, so it checked out. Last but not least, example number 11. You can just start with the 5 squared here. 25 plus 5 divided by 5. Now, according to our order of operations, we would have to do division first. So you get 25 plus 1. That would be 26. Not going to happen. So we need to throw it in reverse here, and we need to try the second number right here. Let's see what happens here. That would give you 5 plus 5 squared is 25 divided by 5. According to our order of operations, we need to do the division before we do the addition. 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10, so it checked out. All right, I hope this helps get you started on your assignment. Good luck the rest of the way.